Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse. And today we are shortly in the data center because just wanted to introduce the video here, and then we're gonna go to the warm, cozy living room because it's cold out here. It's well, it's probably at the end of January. It's the 26th today. Never mind, bobbling. I have this project where I have the awesome Lenovo SR650 that I've been running all of my stuff on for years, but as we came into a bit of a period where power got extremely expensive, like it was at about $1.40 per kilowatt hour. That's $1.40 per kilowatt hour. That's the record. But it was up and down. So I got this urge to move to something that used less power. And I was so lucky that a company called TerraMaster wanted me to review their NAS. And I reviewed the NAS, and then I found out that this NAS had a really good low power CPU inside of it. So we installed Proxmox on that, and I've been slowly moving stuff from my awesome Lenovo server and over to this NAS box. We can see it, it's up here. Let's see if we can move the camera. Okay, it's here behind door number 1. You can see it back there. That's the black box there, and it's doesn't look like much, but it has I have a 10 gigabit Ethernet in it, and I have a USB Ethernet connection on it as well, so it can take the internet in, and it can put it through a virtual pfSense, and then it can put it out again. Okay, so that got the tripod up really high. Let's go to the living room. It's cold out here. Okay, we have moved to the warm and cozy living room, and I'm showing you the power here. Windows, stop it! But in the background, I'm actually backing up some data here. It's extremely slow. I don't really have an idea why it's so slow, but it doesn't matter. I have time. So, but it has been running for a bit, I must admit. It was like 90 gigabytes that I'm backing up USB speed. I don't know why it's that slow. Usually it's a lot faster than that. No, never mind, it'll be done in just a little bit. That's from one of my server's virtual machines, and it's the machine that is here. This is my Proxmox on that tiny little NAS, which is running Proxmox. And if we go to it and take summary, it might brag about how long it has been online, does it? Uptime, 21 days. So yeah, I haven't messed with this for the last 21 days and 1 hour and 46 minutes and 20 seconds. So it has been doing really well. And the last many videos that you have been watching has been rendered out on that tiny little machine, which is the TerraMaster F8 SSD, it was a sponsored video. They sent it for me for review. There it is. It's right on their front page. F8 SSD Plus, 8 bay, 10 gigabit, all SSD NAS. And yeah, I got one of those and tested it out, and I was able to install Proxmox on it. If you haven't seen those videos, I do really recommend it. It was pretty good. So yeah, I want to run all of my stuff off of that. Let's see. See, it has this i3 processor here, 8 cores, 8 threads, meaning that there is no hyper-threading. Never mind. Okay, so here I have logged into my VMware server, the awesome Lenovo SR650 out there, and I only have a few virtual machines that are running that I want to move over. Well, actually there's only one that I want to move over. The rest is not really needed. I have a vCenter for this
I've been using one server for ages, so vCenter is not really needed anymore. I can probably just shut that down. Only running one VMware host, it's a bit much to have a vCenter, and it's rather resource hungry. Then I have Lenovo Xclarity. When I'm shutting down the Lenovo server, I don't really need the Xclarity to be running. I did try and test it if I could move that over. I did not have any luck with that. I might try it again, but yeah, when I tried that the first time, it didn't want to work with me. Hopefully, I think I've become a little bit smarter since then, but yeah, I might give that a go. Then I have this one. It's server 2016, and it's my jump server, and it's just a convenient server that I can jump onto, and I have a lot of stuff installed on it, and then I use that stuff on that server, and that is what I'm using it. But I like that one. That one I use when one of the other ones has crashed, and that way I can jump onto the jump server and I can control Proxmox, or in this case it has mostly been VMware. So yeah, I might wanna I'll move that over. So we'll shut that down. Shut down, power off, guest operations, shut down. We'll move that over to Proxmox, and then I have this Windows 10 Elev jump server. This is for students at work. I'm just gonna shut that down. If I need that, I'm gonna build a new one. The last thing that I need is my pfSense router there. I have already made a new one. It's here, pfSense, and it has been running for ages, but I haven't done all the firewall openings on it, and I don't think I'm gonna show you that how my firewall is made on my production thing. So in this case, it's gonna be a lot of looking at, I have this firewall rule, do I need that over here? So I'm gonna go forth and back on that and mess with that and see if what firewall and netting. I'm netting some stuff through my router, not a whole lot, I must admit, but I am doing a little bit. So yeah, I need this pfSense to be able to do the same thing as this pfSense. So yeah, I need to work on that. Okay, I'm just backing up my video data to the other safety NAS, which is behind me here. I have no idea why it's this slow. Not that it matters, it doesn't really matter. Curious though. But we need to move another machine. So we need to move it. And that's the jump server, the 2016 jump server. I think that's that one. So we need to move that over. So there's an import. It's gonna be 103, yes. Last time, yeah, this is weird. Why it suggests that I use 8 sockets and 2 CPUs. I don't know why it does that, but we're gonna try and swap it around this time. I don't need it to have 8 sockets. And then I give it 8 sockets. 4, it's fine. And then 32 gigabytes of memory. Nah. I've been playing around with that server, doing a lot of stuff, and at some point I've given it a lot of RAM because there was a lot of RAM available. So we're gonna down that a bit. We're gonna give it 8 gigabytes. So that is gonna be there, 8 gigabytes, and we're gonna save it there. And we are gonna, the CPU type, we are gonna give it host. It can emulate all of these different CPUs, but we're just gonna give it the host CPU. So let's see, advanced. There is some iSCSI here. I would like to change that to something else. I've had trouble with that one, so we're gonna use Migrating thingy here. I would have liked it to be SATA instead, but it doesn't seem like I can change it to SATA right away, just because that gives less trouble. This server does not have the VIO thingy installed, so before I install that, I need to pick something that it has. Later, yes, I would have that installed. Right now, it's just we're moving it over. We want to see it working, so that is what's going on. So I think results still advanced. We're gonna import, and it's gonna do that. We shut it off, so it's. I forgot to see how much data this was. Oh, that's 100 gigabytes. I think that's doable. Okay, it's a bit later and it has completed. It has moved over that 100 gigabyte disk and it task is okay. So let's go and check that out. It's right here, the server, hardware. Just let's try and start it up. See if it looks all right. And I did shut it off on the other machine, so it should come up here. There is the Windows logo. And I need to remember to give this IP number 43. In the background, I've been copying the firewall openings and stuff, and this server has IP number that ends on 43. Otherwise, my firewall opening thingies is not gonna be working. Oh, this is taking a while. Well, I'll be back with the results. And the results are in. It is up and running. Proxmox has this thing where you have to Control-Alt-Delete that way. If anyone knows an easier way to send a Control-Alt-Delete to a Proxmox in this window, I'm interested. Looks fine. Yeah, let's just go away. Network. Properties. And we'll just change that IP number. Have it hard coded. And if it obtains one, I'm gonna be in trouble. Maskily use DCP. There we go. See what it did. Okay, it did it. So this machine has now taken over the other one. I hope. The network is configured to not conflict with the other pfSense server. So I don't know if I'm brave enough to play with this right now. My internet provider locks down the MAC address for about an hour, so you can't swap around stuff. So if I pop in the new router, it could be up to an hour until I actually get internet on it. Do I do that? I've been thinking a little bit about this. This is my pfSense, and you can see that it's on the 2net. I'm on a jump server here. It's a 2025, a really nice server here. But I have two internet connections coming into my house. I have one fiber, and I have one that is a locally available Wi-Fi network. Where the internet is blown to your house antenna on a stick out here in front of the house, and if I go and swap those two connections, I should still have internet, although it's going to be a little bit slower until my fiber connection is up and running again. But well, I will have internet connection while I wait for the MAC addresses to yeah, so I think I'm gonna go try that. So here goes nothing. Okay, naturally that wasn't as simple as I thought it would be. So at the moment I do not have any internet. It's down here. In the data center I had made like my awesome Lenovo SR650 had the internet coming in with a SFP. And the tiny little NAS uses copper cables. So at the moment the WAN connection is down, and it looks like that my system is requesting IP numbers. I don't get anything up here, so we do have a 10 gigabit connection waiting there. So hopefully within an hour or so. Ooh, an hour without internet. It will start working again. Ooh. Okay, and now suddenly we're getting traffic the other way around. You can see it right. I am leaning back. I was getting comfortable here, but you can see that now I'm getting traffic on my internet connection again. The blue is the internet coming in, and the red orange down here was me requesting I want internet, and I did also get an IP number. It's up here on the interfaces. I don't really want to share that. I'm sharing too much already. So yeah, internet is up and running. I did do something else to prevent my Proxmox internet setup to influence all the other stuff that I had going on. So if you look down here in the corner, it's a big, where am I there? There, that little icon there. That means that I still don't have internet on my PC. So what we need to go is over here. Here's Proxmox. And here's the summary. Nothing to see here, but if we see the hardware, we have two network cards, and the first network card is 0, and the second one is number 1. So when you give a network card to a machine, it's number 0, 1, 2, 3. But 0 actually points to number 1 over here and number 2 here. And if we go up here, this is the host that we are on. Very happy host, doing very well. And we go into my network configuration. We can see that I have something called PrimaNet, and that is my internet connection. PrimaNet was what I had on it before I switched the connections around. Right now it's like let's call it FiberNet. So now that it's kind of working, we could go and we could edit this and call it FiberNet. FiberNet. Okie dokie. Shouldn't do any difference whatsoever. But we also see that the other one is called temp. This one is just called temp. And that means that my I created another network that doesn't point anywhere. There's only 2 machines that uses that network, and that is the pfSense and then this server 2025 up here. If we go, if you see this MBR2, if we go up and see server 2025 and see the network connection, we see that it's connected to MBR2 because I wanted that server to only look at pfSense so that I could configure pfSense and have something that I could control pfSense with. So now we need to have, if we go look at the other machine, like my editing server here, we will see that it points to, where is it? network device bridge VMBR0. VMBR0 is the general network in the whole thing. So if we go back here and look at that, that's this one. So we need to change pfSense to not use the temp, but use this one instead. I do believe that's pretty simple. I should just be able to swap that out in pfSense. So from 2 to 0, remember that. That's just the way I've done it. If you're gonna copy any of this, your mileage might vary. So from 2, so that is that one. Can we edit that? Yes, we can. And we can just pick 0 there and OK. So now if we go into pfSense, we should have 0 and 1. Yes, we do. And now this one should have lost contact because now it's not on the network and nothing is happening here. So we're gonna change that as well. So we're gonna go back here and we're gonna take my 2025 machine. We're gonna go network and we're gonna edit that. And we're also gonna change that from 2 to 0. And okay, so now they should be on the same network again. So if we go over here and can we do like a refresh or something? Refresh. Yes, it does. Now it's moving again. So we are now on the same network. And down here, I now have an internet connection. So now I can watch my YouTube videos. But even more important, I can probably shut down that SR650 because I don't think that's needed anymore. But I am gonna keep my favorite server. So, but it has been the idea for quite a while to switch over to Proxmox, and this is by far the furthest I've ever gotten. So let's just go and see. So let's shut down the remaining stuff. There is only 2 servers there, so we can shut down vCenter and we can shut down this one first. Should we just give it a try and copy that over and see if I can be lucky with that? I think we're gonna give it a shot. So let's shut it down. And go back. vCenter, on the other hand, we don't need that on Proxmox, so we'll just shut that down. And that is refresh. Might take a while. It says down here that they're shutting down. I would like my VMware Clarity to come over. That would be nice. It shouldn't be that big, should it? Let's see. 1 disk storage. Not a lot of information. Oh, it's actually quite a big hard drive. I do wonder why that is so big. Never mind. We'll try and copy it over. Okay, that is copying over. 2% rich. 2% there. 3%. Okay, it's gonna take a little bit. I ran a speed test here, and I do still get good numbers. So 930 megabits and 939 megabits of up and download speed. So, yeah, awesome. So while I'm waiting for this to copy over, we are at 64%. I would like to promote my Blue Sky social media ever so slightly. The thing that is taking over from the ever so sinking Twitter X thing. So this looks like Twitter very much, but yeah, it's without all the downsides of Twitter. So yeah, I would very much like you to join me over there. Already 109 of you have already joined me here, but there's room for a lot more. So I'll be leaving the links in the description so you can go and find me over on Blue Sky. And it's kind of funny because I'm always making fun about not using cloud computing for anything. And we call that Clear Sky. And this is Blue Sky. So yeah, that's kind of amusing. Not a cloud solution, but we want blue skies. And stop rambling. Okay, that has completed. As you can see, it's getting dark here. I gotta wrap this up. So I will very shortly just try and see if I can start this machine. So let's turn that off and have that. 8 gigabytes, 4 processors, make a RAID. Let's try and boot it, see if it's probably not gonna work. Start. It didn't work last time, so why should it work this time? Did it do anything? That's weird. Okay, run some stuff. I think it has to be died somewhere. I didn't go through. Yeah, let's go. Doesn't matter if this works or not. We're gonna call success anyway. So now we can kind of shut down the awesome Lenovo SR650 because we don't really need that anymore. Even though I don't think this is working. Oh yeah, that's the mouse thing. It dies when it's trying to find the mouse here. That's brilliant. Yeah, we'll shut that down. I'll mess with that some other day. But we can go into our VMware. We can shut down this host. Okay, I've been locked down, so it still remembers me. So we can shut down the host. Before we do that, we're gonna watch the power meter here. So I've actually been around the house and shut down stuff so that we should get the best recording of this. That's also why I'm in the darkness here. So you can kind of see I went around the house and I shut stuff off. So right now we are using it's the purple line, and that is 0.39 kilowatts. So that's 390 watts that I'm using right now. So let's try and shut this down, see how much that does. So shut down. Are you sure? Yeah. So shutting that down. It's gonna be a few minutes before we can see it on the graph, but I'm hoping that it will drop probably to about 300 or so. I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and I'll go into the data center and see if it has shut down. So we're cheating and going in. The fire is nice here, but when I move around the house, the light turns on. So I'll have to go into Philips Hue and turn that off as well because it automatically comes on. So let's see if it's off in here. Yep, it's blinking. It's off. So should we just cheat even more and just disconnect power to it so that it doesn't? Oh, it's dark now. We're gonna need the magic flashlight. Oh, there. We're gonna remove this power cable. That would have been nice if it could go there. I guess that's fine. There, power is removed. How much did we save? Okay, back in the living room, and I have just used Philips Hue to shut off the lights as well. So very exciting to see how much power we will be using down here if we get another dip. Let's zoom in. It might take a few more minutes than this, but I'll give it a 5 minutes or so. Sometimes it's a bit behind. You can see it's showing me results from can I point to that? No, I can't point to that, but it's this black thing that is moving forth and back there. The top says that the time is 3:49, and if we look down here, the time is really 3:51. So there's like 3 minutes of delay. Yeah, I'll be back in 5. Okay, I guess this is as good as it's gonna get. Probably this thing here where it drops when the server went off. I didn't expect that. And then it seems I was very slow to get into the data center, if that is correct. And then when I went out there, all the lights came on. Then we disconnected it. I came back in, turned the lights off, and it has been going down ever so slightly. So at the moment, I'm using 290 watts. But for what? I'm a bit confused about that because I'm sitting here with all the lights off. I do have a pump in the basement, but that says it's using like 7 watts. I have a... Well, never mind. Let's go and wrap this up in the data center.
So I most definitely did drop my power usage, and more importantly, I moved from VMware to Proxmox. So right now, the VMware is off, and I'm only running on Proxmox on the tiny little NAS that is behind door number 1. So yeah, I actually got a really long way in this video. It doesn't feel like I got very far, but I did. It was all the small steps to get to here to move the last big step, like switching over the internet to Proxmox instead of running on VMware. As said, I've done all these little steps to get here, and the bigger step was the editing server that has been working very nicely for the last 2 weeks. It's still on the VMware server as well. So if everything suddenly sucks, I can just turn that on again. And I do actually believe it starts up automatically, which would now be a problem. But yeah, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again. And have a really nice day. Bye bye.